Good evening, everyone, and welcome to tonight's Let's Be Frank call. I am your host with the most. I am Gavin. I'd just like to welcome everyone onto tonight's call. We have a very jam-packed call, if I can call it that. We know that it is the month of love, and with us saying it being the month of love, tonight's topic is going to be about fragrance and essential oils being used as fragrance. So, we have a very good lineup of speakers on tonight, so I can't wait to introduce them. But before we move forward with this, remember our theme for the year is Make a Shift. So as always, I'll just play a video for everybody that they can see what we have and why we've chosen Make a Shift, okay? And that is what the video is showing us exactly why we are making a shift. We are definitely chasing out the old, bringing in the new. So we're putting out all of those toxic products that we use in our household, on ourselves and on our family, and we switching to much more natural alternatives. Okay. So before we move forward with the presentation for tonight, I'd also like to put our disclaimer out there that the information in this presentation is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Remember that this information is for the South African market only. And with that being said, we do have an exciting PV promo for the month, which I will share with everybody. So our PV promo that we have for the month of February, which is the month of love. So for those of you that have actually started purchasing, I'm pretty sure that you're excited to know what we have. So on 100 PV on Essential Rewards and on 150 PV on Quick Order, you're getting the bath and shower gel base. So the bath and shower gel base is really, if I can put it, it's not your conventional shower gel. Okay, so this you can customize by adding essential oils to it. So according to the way you want to feel, you can add the essential oils or blend, mix and match according to the way you feel. Okay, and another thing is it doesn't contain a lot of phthalates, sulfurs, and all of those toxic ingredients that come into your that actually is part of your conventional shower gels that you find on shelf. This is much more of a natural alternative. Okay, so this is what you can find on 100 PV ER and 150 PV Quick Order. Okay. And then for the men out there, Shutron, we have at 150 PV on ER and 250 PV on Quick Order. So this is amazing as well. This is a natural cologne, if you may call it that. I know some of our brand partners that have actually used this or smelled this have actually got this for their partners because of how masculine it smells. It's also very relieving, if I can put it that way. It's also good for both men and women. So don't feel like you can't actually use this on your own. I know it's great on your lava beads as well because it goes a long way. For some of you that don't know Shutron, Shutron was actually the name of a captain that our founder Gary Young ventured with on one of his adventures. So he named Shutron after the actual captain in one of his books called The One. So for those of you that have read it, you'll definitely find Captain Shutron being thrown around a lot in that book. And then on 200 PV, we've got on essential rewards, we have 15 more ylang ylang. So ylang ylang, known as the flower of flowers, handpicked by women, of course. That's just to so that it doesn't damage the frequency of the essential oil on its own. And remember, with this being said, women cannot just pick it in any mood. You have to be in a happy mood. So another great thing about Young Living is we're giving you exactly what we put into it, okay? And then for some of you that actually are excited about the blend, we have Present Time, which is on 250 PV ER and 350 PV quick order. So this really smells amazing. We've had a bit of a rumble in the office because of the way it smells. I actually blocked the label and I passed it around the office and I asked people, what does this smell like? And when they smelled it, they were like, oh, what is this? And then when I said Present Time, a lot of them were actually shocked by the smell of it. So Present Time is really good, but we'll get into that and how it's used. And then for the first time, we've got a Lucia diffuser. So this is hand blown. So not every Lucia is the same. It is made by individual artists who have been trained in this industry specifically for this. So remember that when you're getting this at 300 PV. So this is available from the 1st to the 29th of February 2024. If you're spending over 300 PV or more, remember that you're getting free shipping with this, okay? So another thing that we have is our promos for the month, okay? So I'm sure everybody is excited for the promos. And what is the month of February or Valentine's Day without rose, okay? So roses, if you want to give that special someone in your life, we have it available at 20% off. That's a lot. It does take a lot of rose petals. I've actually done my research. So it takes about 10 to 11 kilograms of rose petals to fit into a 5 ml bottle. And we know how light one rose petal is. So that's available at 20% off. It's the oil with the second highest frequency. Northern Lights Black Spruce is still #1 because it's been exposed to the Northern Lights in Canada. And then we have M Grain for those of you that have partners that give you headaches on Valentine's Day. I'm kidding. You can definitely get this for 480 and that's also at 20% off. I remember Kristina was speaking about this because she knows exactly how to use it, but I'll introduce Kristina to some of you that don't know her. And then we've also got the luxury reed diffuser with a Joy 15 ml also at 20% off. So definitely this is something that you want to get your hands on, but I'm sure that we're going to speak about these much more in detail. And then for some of you that are excited because it's the month of love, I feel like I'm selling this a lot, but this is a definite go-to. For some of you that have attended our fragrance workshops, you are aware of the base kit, which has the natural solubilizer and a natural preservative. So we have 2 fragrance sets that have these where you can customize a fragrance. And remember, these are gender neutral, okay? This is so you can mix and match, you can play around, and this can give you up to 10 perfumes, which you can definitely mix and match according to the way you feel. But yes, it comes with a very nifty funnel, a 50 ml natural fragrance bottle. It also comes with a glass jar, so you can actually mix it. And the base and the base kit, which contains your natural solubilizer and your preservative. Okay, so the prices are on screen as well. This is available for the entire duration of February. And with that being said, I'm sure you are aware that when we're speaking about fragrance, we have some good speakers on tonight's call. So on tonight's call, for some of you that are aware, we've got Hester Strydom. So Hester is from Bloemfontein. I had the privilege of meeting Hester. I've also met her husband as well. She's a really great speaker. So Hester comes from a rural village in the Free State Maize Triangle of South Africa, which is Woopstad. Okay, so she has 3 kids, as you can see on screen. And she's been introduced to Young Living by her sister Copeland Quartz. For some of you that know her, so she believes that Young Living has changed her life in all aspects. And her favorite quote is that either you run the day or the day runs you. What a lovely one by Hester. And then for the first time, I just like to have a bit of a thumb click for our new lady on the call tonight, who is Jade Kittner. So for some of you that don't know Jade Kittner is a nature lover and a proud boy mom. She believes in low tox living and she loves traveling. She believes in creating wellness one drop at a time. So she's also been to our fragrance workshop. And then, of course, without further ado, we have Kristina Foster. So for some of you that don't know who Kristina Foster is, she's an American-born international best-selling author. She's a professional photographer and she's an interior decorator. So she lives with her missionary husband, Jim, and they're currently staying in Cape Town. So she loves traveling and she loves sharing a story with other women as well, along with coaching families on how to live a more holistic and toxin-free lifestyle. So I'd like to welcome the ladies on tonight's call. So Hester, how are you doing tonight?
Good. Hello, Kevin. I'm fine, and you?
I'm good, thanks for asking. Hester, so I understand that you've attended our fragrance workshop. You've also hosted fragrance workshops on your side. Do you care to give us a brief overview on what you've done and what you've learned and how you incorporate it with your day-to-day living?
Yes, well, Gavin, last year there was a lot of incentives to be won. And I just thought, how am I going to do this? Because I think that the longer you are in the game, the more creative you have to be with the oils and stuff, because the people in my community actually knows this, and people always want something new. So when the fragrance workshop started, I thought, well, this is a great opportunity. And it's a great platform to have a fragrance workshop and then to introduce other oils and other products on the fragrance workshop. So that worked for me. People actually go and buy other products and like Nixia and collagen. It's a great platform to do that. And then what I've also learned, that it's not only for adults. The kids love it. So you can have mommy and daughter fragrance workshops, or you can have charity events where you do something with that. So it's just awesome. The opportunities are endless. And then and the other thing is that I wanted to say is never underestimate the power of smell. It is so powerful when those people start smelling the oils. They are just intrigued by it. So that's awesome. And then the other thing that I've learned is that you have to use the slides. There's slides for the fragrance workshops with each oil and stuff, and it's so educational. And when you use those slides, it makes for a unique experience. So that's awesome. And the other thing, which is so interesting, is that last year I went through about 20 fragrance workshops, maybe a bit more. And in those 20 fragrance workshops, at the end of the workshop, nobody sneezed. So if you can just imagine, if you go into an airport and you go to all those fragrance shops and you walk through the fragrance and you smell it, you just start sneezing. And with 20 fragrance workshops, nobody sneezed through the entire workshop till the end. So yes, that was, you should really concentrate on that, because it just shows you how awesome this is.
Oh, thank you so much for that, Hester. I mean, I'm actually blown away by the fact that you know that your body's first response to a new fragrance is that direct sneezing, which means your body's trying to adjust, but it doesn't know what it's taking in. So thank you so much for that, Hester. And then we move on to Jade. So Jade on the call tonight. Jade, do you care to take us through exactly the workshops that you've attended? So same question applies, and how you incorporated with your day-to-day, the experiences you've had with it.
Hi, Kevin. Hi, everyone. So, yeah, I was lucky enough to attend the sensational workshop here in Durban, and I got to meet Gavin in person. So he's not just a face on a screen anymore. And it was just so beautiful. It was such an amazing experience, and we all had so much fun. So last year, I did a fragrance workshop with a friend of mine, and we just had so much fun doing it. We also use the slides. I agree with Hester. I think it makes it just a whole nother level. So we were lucky enough to get a venue with a screen, and we're actually hosting another one this Saturday in Kloof. So I think we've got 2 or 3 seats available if anyone's nearby and wants to join us. And so something interesting that I want to share is my friend and I were creating our own scents. We didn't use the Young Living ones. And when we were creating all the scents, it's so interesting how different it smells when you smell the scent from the bottle. And then when we sprayed it on ourselves, and how it smelt on me was completely different to how it smelt on her. And it just goes to show how the oils react with the pH level of our skin. So it smells completely different on everybody. And then also to wait a while and see how the smell develops over time as the notes, you know, the top note evaporates and you smell the middle note and the base note. So how it smells when you spray it, and then a little while later and later than that, it just keeps changing and developing, which is beautiful. And yeah, my experience is honestly, I made my little amber floral at your workshop, Gavin, and it smells so subtle to me, but every time I wear it, everybody just tells me how fragrant I smell. And besides that, I've made, like, you know, we all make rollers for different purposes. And I found it so interesting. I'd never crossed my mind, but I made a roller for a specific reason. But again, every time I wear it, everyone tells me how amazing I smell. So it's actually like a perfume, but it has a purpose. And I found no matter what scent you create for yourself, that's the beauty of the natural fragrances, is that you get all the health benefits of the therapeutic oils, as well as ditching the chemicals, you know, reducing your toxic load. So it's just a win-win-win. And also everybody really, really loves the make and take workshops. So when you're making a fragrance, it's not just speaking. Everyone gets to get involved and they go home with the perfume. So it's just, everyone enjoys it. It's just the best. Really love it.
Oh, thank you for that, Jade. And I had the pleasure of meeting you, which was amazing. I mean, the best thing is that once you engage with that specific individual who hosts the workshop, it's much more easier for you to actually have a candid conversation afterwards. So if anybody has any questions or follow-ups, they can come directly to you, which is easy because you understand it already. So it makes it easier for somebody else to basically interpret and then understand it. And I love the fact that you actually said that you use the slides. So I'm actually proud of that because I know the slides definitely assisted me with the training and all of these things that went forward into it. So thank you so much for that, Jade. I'm pretty sure that you stoked because you created perfumes not only in the fragrance bottle, but also in the rollers. So well done on that. Thank you so much. And then we have Kristina Foster. So Kristina, same question applies. Like with the fragrance workshop, how's it been for you, your experiences and your day-to-day and the people that you meet nowadays? Because I remember we had a short conversation about this when I was in Cape Town recently, but your take on this, I would definitely love to hear.
Hi, Gavin. Thank you so much. Actually, it's a little bit different. I agree wholeheartedly. I love hearing how Jade and Hess have like used it here in South Africa, but I'll have to tell you, I don't have as much experience. I've done our big one that you brought to Cape Town, as well as several with my team here. But then I went to the States, and I tell you what, this was such an eye-opener for me because South Africa is actually the first market to have a fragrance workshop. We're kind of like breaking ground here. And when I told some of the people back there, they watched, you know, what we were doing online here, and they said, please bring us a fragrance, you know, do a perfume workshop over there in America. So I actually brought an entire kit over and did several perfume workshops using the slides and the whole presentation and everything to people over in America. My oldest daughter just got married in December, and so we used some of the perfume that we used that we made as little we divvied up and put it as little wedding favors and called it holiday whimsy, holiday, you know, perfume for, because she had a Christmas wedding. And so many people had an amazing time with making their own perfumes, and it's been worldwide. But my experience is that it really is an opening for people, because they might not necessarily, you know, care about essential oils, and they might have a lot of thoughts about that. But when you start talking to people about perfumes and fragrances, words that they know and that they a lot of people love, I mean, there's perfume market is a huge market out there. you start to get their attention. And this recently happened to me. This is what I was talking to you about, Gavin. When I came back this last month, I recently got a new member simply by walking into a coffee shop here in Cape Town and just asking about a perfume workshop or, you know, a fragrance workshop. And the owner of the coffee shop went ballistic. She's like, perfume is like my jam. So it's really, whereas she really couldn't have cared less about essential oils or anything else, she literally said, I want to create my own perfumes. I want to do this. And her mind went wild. So we're in the process of teaching her the real perfume and the real fragrance and how to do that. But yeah, so I am excited because it has really opened up so many conversationally as well as just worldwide perfume conversations, and just a lot of new members that way. So it's been a wonderful experience. I love the concept, and I love the way that you are teaching people knowledge that they haven't really thought about before. You come together to teach about what they think is they're going to just make their own perfume, which they will, but you also are giving them the knowledge that that they never really took time for themselves to search out about the toxicity of a lot of the perfumes out there. So, yeah.
Thanks so much for that, Kristina. And I also love that we, like, honestly, having the fragrance workshop that we've presented to everybody. Remember, that's just a stepping stone, as we always say, because once you walk out of that fragrance workshop, honestly, the world is your oyster. So you have access to your essential oils that you can mix and match. Like Jade has also said, she hasn't like basically stuck to exactly what you've learned like at the workshop from those recipes. You've played around and you've understood that it's much more easier to do this at home. So that's why it's easier for you to customize a fragrance, because you know the basics now. So that's the best thing about it. You know which oils pair well with whichever one, and also you know where they sit in your notes. So your top, your middle, and your base notes, and you know how to layer your fragrances. So well done, and thank you so much for that, ladies. So for tonight's call, as we've spoken about the fragrance workshop, the best thing about this is using essential oils, which is the bare essential oils, whether it's a single oil blend as a perfume. Okay. So with this being said, I'm going to hand over to Hester. So Hester, what we've done is we've given each of these ladies 3 essential oils, whether it's a single oil blend, and they're going to tell us exactly why they would use it as a fragrance. Okay. So Hester, I'll hand over to you for the first essential oil. And the first one is frankincense.
Okay, great, Gavin. Yeah, so frankincense is an awesome oil for everything. It's just an awesome oil. So frankincense is very grounding. It has a woody aroma. Yes, and it's a base note for fragrances. The first time that I smelled frankincense, I didn't like it, but I grew into it, and I just love frankincense. I want to tell you a bit about frankincense. It's awesome to me. It's also called olibalum, oil from Lebanon, or oil from Lebanon. And the name is derived from the medieval word for real, and it means real incense. So it's mentioned in the Ebers Papyrus, an ancient Egypt scroll from approximately 1500 BCE that documents its use. So it's been around for a really, really long time. And it's from the gum, the resin of the Boswellia kateri trees in Somalia, and it joined the Young Living family in 1994. And what's so awesome about frankincense to me is when you put it on as a fragrance, it also helps with your immune. There's a PubMed publication, which I'll send the link to you about, and it's been studied for a while. And that PubMed article actually says that it inhibits tumor cells in the body. So it's not only a fragrance, but it's also useful to your body, and it's just an awesome oil. It's also anti-inflammatory. It helps with cellular function. It's good for your digestive system. You can actually put 2 drops of frankincense in your belly button. It's a very good respiratory oil as well. When you're sick, you actually put 3 drops on your chest and rub it in with a bit of carrier oil. So that's awesome. And yes, it's very good for sleep as well. And then you can actually put 2 drops in a capsule and drink it every day for whatever reason. So that's awesome. And then I've got a diffuser blend for frankincense, which I call the East Coast, and it's 4 drops cedarwood, 3 drops of frankincense, and 3 drops of valor. And then the other one is room spray in a 250 ml bottle. And then it's 15 drops frankincense and 30 drops of grapefruit. And it actually smells awesome. But what's awesome to me is that when you use these fragrances with the frankincense in, it's so beneficial for your health. So yes, frankincense is a great oil to use for everything.
Thank you so much for that, Hester. And then we move on to your second oil. So I'm pretty sure that you're stoked about that one. So the second oil that we have after frankincense is cedarwood. So do you care to take us through cedarwood?
Yes, okay. Cedarwood is one of my favorite oils. I don't know if you know this, but some people talk about vivid dreams. They say that if they use frankincense on their body, any part of their body, before they go to sleep, they have really vivid dreams. So I've actually tested this on a client of mine, and she said, "Oh my gosh, Hester, I had the most vivid dreams about a wedding. I can actually remember the detail of the flowers." So yes, that's just an interesting thing. So you can have try that and see if you have vivid dreams. So cedarwood is from Morocco. It is steam distilled from the bark of the tree, and the tree is called the Lebanon cedar tree. And very few of these ancient trees actually remain alive today. So most of the cedarwood today comes from the Cedrus atlantica tree, which is considered a subspecies of the Lebanon cedar. So interesting to me, because it comes from the bark of the tree, I want to tell you that last year when I was in the Seychelles, we actually went to an island called Prale Island. And there was they took us through all the palms and stuff, and there was a tree, and the guide said to us, "Take a piece of the bark and smell this." And some people smelled cinnamon, some people smelled nutmeg, some people smelled anise, vanilla, cardamom, and black pepper. And we said, "No, it's a cinnamon tree." And the other one said, no, this must be, some people actually said that it's a vanilla tree, and the vanilla is not a tree, but they smelled it. And it was so interesting. The guy said to us, "Look here, guys, this is an allspice tree." So yes, it's just interesting to me that you actually get the allspice tree as well. So cedarwood is a very grounding oil. It's a great oil for if you are stressing. It's very calming, and it improves cerebral activity. When you put it, you can actually put it on the crown of your head. It increases your mood, and then it stimulates circulation. And and it's thought to be one of the first oils ever extracted in nature. Ancient Egyptians used it as in the embalming process. And ancient Sumerians later used cedarwood as a base for paint. So that's awesome. And its wood, the tree's wood, was used by Phoenicians to build strong ships that will withstand battle. and it is historically considered an item of luxury and wealth. And it is such a it's a cheap oil, hey? It's not even expensive, and it has all these benefits. And it also blends well with lavender, cypress, bergamot, orange, and patchouli as well. And interesting about cedarwood is that it is used in microscope. Scientists use it in microscopes because the presence of the liquid increases the aperture of the objective, thus increasing the resolution. And you can also use it as a scalp massage for your hair. It's very good for your hair, for luscious hair and shiny hair. And you can actually make a mermaid hairspray, which has cedarwood in it. And then I've got a diffuser blend for you for cedarwood. It is 5 drops cedarwood, 4 drops lemon, and 2 drops of rosemary. So that's a nice diffuser blend for cedarwood. But cedarwood all around is just a great grounding oil.
Thank you so much for that, Hester. And then we move on to the final oil on your list. So I'm pretty sure you're stoked about that, and it's bergamot.
Okay, so bergamot is cultivated primarily in the southern Italy and has been used in the Middle East for hundreds of years as a flavoring, perfume, in addition to moisturizers and cosmetic. It is cold pressed. And it is such a distinctive flavor. It is just one of my favorite oils. I love citrus oils. One thing that we should remember about bergamot, that it is a citrus oil, and citrus oil should not be applied to the skin when it will be exposed to sunlight within 72 hours. So yeah, it is a citrus oil. It's made out of the peel of the bergamot fruit. It's all around a feel-good oil, and I actually use it like a perfume just on its own. I just love the smell of bergamot. It is it's really, really nice. And we also get bergamot in other blends of Young Living, such as Dragon Time, Progressence Plus, Clarity, Humility, and Joy. So it's actually widely used. Yeah, and awesome oil. And you can also actually flavor your tea, so it will taste like Earl Grey tea. You can make yourself tea with 2 drops of bergamot. That's awesome. And you can rub a couple of drops between your palms and inhale it for a quick emotional boost. So that's nice. And for the month of love, I've got a roses diffuser blend for you. This is an awesome blend. And it's 5 bergamot, 2 geranium, and 3 patchouli. I'll share the recipes on here. But bergamot is such a happy oil.
Thank you so much for that, Hester. I'm glad that you actually shared your 3 essential oils that you use as a fragrance, which actually goes to show that it has more than one function. Besides it smelling amazing, it also has various functions to assist your body with. So thank you so much for that, Hester. So now I'll hand over to Kristina. So Kristina, I understand one of your essential oils that you love as a perfume is Joy, which is an essential oil blend. Do you care to take us through that?
Oh, I love Joy essential oil. My mom, when she first got, I introduced her to essential oils. This still is her favorite oil, and she wears this as, I mean, just as it is as a perfume, because honestly, Joy is such amazing combination of oils. If you want to get your hands on in rose and jasmine and some of the most expensive of the oils, but you just don't have the funds for it, get Joy, because honestly, I love, my motto is you can't buy happiness, but you can buy a Joy essential oil, right? And that's pretty much the same thing. So I love all the oils that combine in Joy, and it promotes feelings of happiness, and it's got a unique sense that is both exotic but comforting to me. It has floral and citrus notes in it, so citrus notes boost your mood, and it's just one of those oils that it just elicits joy for sure. so one of the fun facts about this is, like I mentioned before, is that it contains rose essential oil, which is, as you were talking about earlier, is like the second highest frequency oil, but it's very expensive. But with roses and rose oil, it actually takes, you said, I don't remember what you said, Kevin, but I looked up the fact as well, and I looked up the petals, and rose essential oil for one 5 ml of rose essential oil, it takes 500,000 rose petals. That's crazy. So if you want a little bit of those rose petals, buy Joy. That's for sure. And then it also contains jasmine, and jasmine is one of my ultimate favorite essential oils. It's just, I wear jasmine and a little bit of rose as a perfume as well. But when I can't get my hands on those, if I run out, then I use Joy. It's also, so how I usually do Joy, in fact, I have Joy in my diffuser right now. I diffuse it, and then I also add 2 to 3 drops of Joy to dryer balls to freshen my laundry. You can actually sleep in Joy, because if you put your bedding in the dryer, just use a couple of drops of Joy on your dryer balls, and the woolen dryer balls, and those make your entire bedroom smell like Joy. It's amazing. And then you can mix it with our unscented Genesis body lotion, or you can add it to your moisturizer. It's got amazing oils in it for your skin. You can also mix Joy with witch hazel to create like a natural linen spray with water. And then you can also add it to bath salts, Epsom salts, and enjoy a relaxing soak. So I just absolutely love Joy. It's one of my all-time favorites, go-tos.
Thank you so much for that, Kristina. I remember that you also spoke about Joy previously, and you've always loved Joy. So I'm glad that you actually heightened or highlighted the fact that citrus oils help give you more of a happier mood. So thank you so much for that, Kristina. And then we move on to your second fragrance, and this is actually unexpected, but it's Kid Power. Do you care to take us through Kid Power?
I wanted to, yeah, I love Kid Power. And the reason why I put that on there as one of my favorites is because, so this last year, we were looking at the Christmas catalog that USA brought out, and they had this particular roller, and it was called Holiday Whimsy. And everybody was going nuts over Holiday Whimsy, and it sold out like crazy. And then someone realized, it went around, that it was actually Kid Power. It was actually the oil Kid Power. And so it just goes to show you that Kid Power is not just for kids. It's also for moms and anybody who loves a wonderful fragrance. But if I'm diffusing Kid Power, it's like diffusing, it's like I'm sitting in a candy factory. I love it. It's just, I love anything that brings me back to my childhood, and it smells like a creamsicle, if you were to take a whole bunch of jelly beans and melt them down and then diffuse them. That's just what it smells like to me. But Kid Scents actually came about. Fun fact was when to help kids get over their fear, and to help their brain get over the fact of trying to hide levels of nervousness, and just being able to, like, my brain is not functioning at the moment right now. So, but they actually use this, a lot of people use this for when kids had to put on masks over during the pandemic, and to help them get over their fear of that and give them Kid Power as well. So Kid Power is it's motivational, it empowers, and I just love diffusing it because it gives me that extra oomph. that I'm looking for.
Thank you so much for that, Kristina. I know for kids out there, this is also a great perfume for kids as well. So
Yes.
it's not only great for kids, but as Kristina said, it's also great for adults. So a definite must-have if you want to add to that. And then, Kristina, I know that it's another blend for you, which is abundance. So do you care to take us through abundance as well?
Abundance is amazing. For me, I just absolutely, ever since I smelled this, it just immediately brought me into focus. I know there's a lot of different oils that are in here that are for focus as well. But I love, it's got my black spruce oils in it. It's got myrrh, it's got cinnamon, and I absolutely love cinnamon, like the real cinnamon as anyway. But then it also has patchouli, which is amazing. Patchouli you will find a lot in other, like the regular perfumes and such out there in the shops. In fact, the lady that I'm doing the workshop for her, and she was all about perfume. She knew about some of the essential oils that were used in her perfumes, her toxic perfumes, and patchouli was one of the ones that she was familiar with. But frankincense and clove, all very grounding and beautiful oils to create this blend. What I love about this is that a lot of people will use abundance for creating, bringing together thoughts of prosperity and for the future, and when you're in using it for meditation. And one of the fun facts that I heard, I don't know if you're all familiar with Brian, Sea Lion Brian online, most of you are, but he used abundance and started putting a drop on his head every morning just so that he could think abundance. And then he shared that he decided that instead of thinking abundance, he wanted to walk in abundance and put feet to that abundance, so that whatever he was doing and taking action, that it would cause abundance as well. And so he started rubbing this on his feet every night before he went to bed. And so I thought that was a really cool thing. So that's actually what I've been starting to do, is to put abundance on my feet to attract the motivation to move forward. So, but it's very it's a wonderful perfume. It smells amazing with all of those essential oils in there. So I love to just use this as a perfume as well. And every time I use it, someone always comments on it and says, what are you wearing? And so I love telling them I'm wearing abundance, and that just opens up a lot of conversations because they never heard of that perfume before. So, but it's also great for, as it says on here, hand and foot massage. So you can do it, massage your feet and walk in abundance, people.
Thank you so much for that, Kristina. That definitely speaks a lot. For a lady that's actually chosen blends and using that as perfumes, thank you so much for enriching us with that knowledge, because I'm sure a lot of our brand partners are actually going to start using this. So thank you so much for that, Kristina. And then we move on to Jade. So Jade, I understand our first oil for the night is patchouli. So this Kristina touched a bit on. Do you care to take us through patchouli?
Yeah, it's quite fitting, that she just spoke about it in abundance. But it is, so patchouli is actually a base note, and it's a very woodsy, earthy smell. I don't love it by itself, but it just blends so beautifully with other scents. And one of my absolute favorites is patchouli and ylang ylang together. I've actually got that in my diffuser right now. And when we were creating scents for our workshop, we found it very difficult in the beginning to get away from having patchouli and ylang ylang and then other stuff. And we're like, no, we have to come up with something else. And then we got other favorites. But yeah, so patchouli is a very unisex scent. That sounded funny, a unisex scent. And so it's great for men's colognes, but it's also just a really grounding smell to mix florals with. it has so many benefits. It's amazing, amazing, amazing for the skin. But I'll get there. It's very calming and grounding. It soothes the mind and reduces feelings of anxiety and stress. It also boosts confidence and libido. It relieves pain and inflammation. It repels insects, which is great during this humid season with all the mosquitoes. And it also assists with fluid retention. So in this hot February, if anyone has swollen feet, you can spray your perfume on your feet as well. And then, as I said about the skin, it's revered for its skin cell regeneration. So it reverses the damage done to our skin by free radicals. So it helps to keep our skin firm, healthy, and youthful. And it reduces signs of aging by tightening the skin and preventing wrinkles. And also, thanks to its antibacterial and antifungal properties, it's great in facilitating wound healing, and it reduces scars and blemishes as well. And then in Asia, they actually use it a lot for its skin lightening properties. So it can help to lighten age spots, freckles, and any other hyperpigmentation, and even out the skin tone, which brings me to another point. I actually recently learned that patchouli is one of the photosensitive oils. So just like cedarwood and the citrus oils, it attracts sunlight. So you shouldn't wear it on exposed skin. So if you do have it in your perfume, just be mindful to spray it on skin that isn't exposed to sunlight, or spray it onto your clothes. But it's definitely a must to add to your evening skincare routine. And it's generally the case with all the photosensitive oils, cedarwood, patchouli, all the citruses. As much as they can damage the skin in the sunlight because they attract the sunlight, they help to reverse those same effects if you use them in your evening skincare. So that's just something to keep in mind.
Thank you so much for that, Jade. I'm pretty sure that now education on this is that patchouli is a photosensitive oil for some of you that don't know. So remember to always spray this in areas where it's not exposed to direct sunlight or on your clothes. So thank you so much for that, Jade. And then we move on to your second oil, ylang ylang. No, I'm kidding. It's ylang ylang. So do you care to ylang ylang?
So ylang ylang is just one of my absolute favorites. I've heard people say it's like the poor man's jasmine, which I don't know. I suppose it's very floral, but it doesn't really smell like jasmine to me. But I just absolutely love this oil. And it's commonly known as flower of flowers, the translation. But I did a bit of digging into this, and apparently that's a mistranslation. It comes from the language Tagalog. I don't know if I'm saying that properly, but it's a Filipinian language. And the correct translation means wilderness or rare. So ylang ylang is a middle note, and it's very sweet and floral. It's historically believed to balance the yin and the yang, the masculine and feminine, or should I say the feminine and masculine energies. And it supports the appearance of healthy skin and shiny, lustrous hair. So I love to add this. I'm sure everybody knows the mermaid hairspray, which is cedarwood, rosemary, and lavender. But when I heard that ylang ylang was so amazing for the hair, I added that as well. And it just smells so beautiful, and it just gives you that shiny hair. So I love to add that to my mermaid hairspray as well. And then it also inspires self-confidence and uplifts the spirit. It restores peace and positive thoughts. And for the month of love, February, with Valentine's Day around the corner, I think Jade already mentioned this, other Jade, in the launch call, but it creates a very luxurious romantic aroma, and it is an aphrodisiac for women. So get your ylang ylang for this weekend. And then it supports a normal blood pressure, and it eases minor motion sickness, which I found so interesting when I read that, because I actually have in my car vent diffuser, which is amazing. I absolutely love it. And because I love ylang ylang and patchouli so much, I've made a little bottle because I don't want to take my full bottles with me and, you know, have them evaporate with the heat. So I've got this that stays in my bag, and then I can top up my car vent diffuser whenever I need to. So the fact that I've got ylang ylang in my car and it helps normalize blood pressure and helps with motion sickness, I found that very fitting and interesting. And I think the reason I love patchouli and ylang ylang together is just that patchouli almost grounds the sweetness of the ylang ylang. If you haven't smelt it, you must. It's just the most beautiful combination. And then a little bit about the ylang ylang and how we get the oils. So the ylang ylang trees grow in lush tropical climates like Malaysia, Indonesia, and Madagascar. And we, Young Living, gets our oil from 2 different climates. And also, like with any plants, the climates that they grow in affect them. So with the ylang ylang trees, the climates that they grow in affect the way the flowers smell. Just like, I don't know if you've ever noticed a bougainvillea, you can have the same color bougainvillea planted in different places. And because of the acidity of the soil, the flowers will be a different color. So our Young Living ylang ylang comes from 2 climates. It comes from Madagascar and Ecuador. And our Finca Botanical Farm in Ecuador is the only source for ylang ylang in that climate, which gives us a very unique scent profile with our ylang ylang, which is quite amazing.
Thank you so much for that, Jane. So I'm pretty sure. No, it's fine.
Sorry, Gavin, I completely forgot I had more to say about that. Can I quickly carry on?
Go.
So I found it very interesting that the ylang ylang trees, the majority, or it has the most oil found in the flowers in the evening. So they are harvested in the evening because in the daylight, in the sunshine, the oil it gets pulled back into the branches. And the flowers respond much better to being harvested by women. Through all the extensive testing that Young Living does, they just found that, you know, the frequency of the oil is much higher when it's harvested by women. So the women go and harvest the flowers, hand-picking each flower in the evening away from the sunlight.
That's giving that's making it a very dangerous job, but I mean at the same time, you have to be in a very good mood. You're handpicking this at night, so there's a lot of danger. No, I'm kidding, but anyway, it is in a controlled environment, I'm sure. So you are getting the best of that. So thank you so much for that, Jade. And on to our final oil for the evening, Jade, which is vanilla. So do you care to take us through vanilla?
Sure. But just quickly, I think it would be the most amazing job to be picking ylang ylang flowers when the fragrance is just in the air in the evening on a very safe farm, I'm sure. So anyway, moving on to vanilla. It is a middle note, but it can also be a base note. And it has a very rich, creamy, sweet scent. And the comforting aroma has a direct impact on our nerves, which induces calm and relieves stress. It has antioxidant properties and helps protect the skin from environmental pollutants and toxins. And it also prevents and reverses skin damage caused by free radicals. It also helps slow down the signs of aging, fine lines, wrinkles, and age spots. And I'm saying also, because this is just what I love about the oils is there's so much repetition. I mean, so much of this, the patchouli had the same, ylang ylang is also amazing for the skin and the hair. You know, the oils that Hester and Kristina spoke about, there's just so much repetition. No matter what oil you use, there's just so many benefits. So with vanilla, it also boosts the immune system due to its antibacterial properties, and it's an aphrodisiac as well. Repetition. And it conditions and moisturizes the skin and hair. And as it says on the slide here, that vanilla enhances the experience of virtually any other essential oil. And it really, really does. I find that it's so good. So as I said, when we were creating scents, I found it very difficult to get away from ylang ylang and patchouli until I found vanilla, and then everything had vanilla in it because it just blends so well with everything. And especially in my opinion, when I put lime and vanilla together, oh my gosh, it's just delicious. It's like fresh and creamy. And I don't know if anyone remembers those ice creams back in the 90s. It was like a vanilla ice cream with the fruit sorbet on the outside, and just the fruit and the vanilla together. That's what the lime and vanilla smelled like to me. And then if you blend it with more spicy oils like cinnamon or clove, you get a delicious vanilla spiced chai latte kind of thing going on. And it also just goes really well with woodsy scents and other florals as well. So it blends beautifully, and it's amazing to use in making perfumes. And then a little bit about our vanilla and how it's made. I found this very interesting. So our vanilla is not distilled. It's actually an earlier resin, and it's very thick. The patchouli is also quite thick, but vanilla is even thicker. So when you are using it, it does help to warm it with the body heat first. You can put it wherever and just warm it up before you use it so that it drops nicely. And so our earlier resin is extracted from beans that are grown in northwest region of Madagascar. And Young Living developed a unique extraction method using naturally sourced ethyl alcohol from French sugar beets. So they use that naturally sourced ethyl alcohol to extract the pure vanilla from the bean pod, and then they remove the alcohol, and then it's processed with a fractionated coconut oil, which is basically just a liquefied coconut oil, doesn't solidify. And it's a very extensive process to obtain the vanilla oleoresin, because it can take up to 4 years for the vine to mature and start to flower. And then once it does flower, the orchid blossom only lasts for 24 hours, and it has to be hand pollinated within 8 to 12 hours for the bean pod to grow. And the entire process of growing, pollinating, drying, curing, and prepping for export takes about a year. So I think it's more expensive than frankincense, slightly. It's also one of the more expensive oils. But again, when you understand the process, you can totally understand why.
Well, thank you so much for that, Jade. Another fun fact about vanilla is that it's actually good to curb those cravings. So if you're having a bit of a sweet tooth, you can definitely crack open a bottle and you can smell it, and it will definitely take away that craving. So thank you so much for that, Hester, Kristina, and Jade. I really want to commend you for actually being so knowledgeable and sharing that knowledge with everybody. I'd like to hand over to Margot, who will take us through our incentive for the month. So Margot, on tonight's call, do you care to take us through the incentive for the month?
Yes, thank you so much, Gavin. I thoroughly enjoyed all the wealth of knowledge coming from all the speakers tonight. Thank you so much. I learned quite a few things, quite a few new fun facts. So just getting into the incentive, this is an awesome incentive running for the month of February. It is from the 1st to the 29th of February. So you have the entire month. So when you enroll 3 with a minimum of 50 PV, this has never been done before, you get Jade Lemon Wellness Oils, as well as the grapefruit wellness oil rather. So these oils have a special label. I'm not going to get too into the detail there, but those of you who know what I'm saying, you'll know exactly what I'm saying. The wellness oils in the UK is also referred to the vitality oils in the US. So when you enroll 6 with a minimum of 50 PV, you get the geranium wellness 5 ml as well as the lemongrass essential oil. And then finally, when you enroll 10 this month with a minimum of 50 PV, never seen before, and it's an exclusive new diffuser. It is not for sale in the South African market. It is the Wonder Bliss diffuser, as well as Australian Kurania 5mm. Now, the Wonder Bliss diffuser is amazing, and it fits so well with our market because it is a wireless diffuser. It can run wirelessly for up to 3 hours. We know that is a must-have, especially in our load shedding these days. So I do encourage you, please head towards this incentive. It's an amazing incentive. You can get all of these oils and the especially Wonder Bliss diffuser when you share the Young Living journey and the Young Living oils with your people. So thank you so much, Gavin.
Sorry about that, I was muted, but thank you so much for that, Margot. There will be a short video just to show you exactly how the Wonder Bliss.
Okay, so just to take you through some of the ways to enroll on 50 PV. So Young Living South Africa has made it very simple for you to enroll people on 50 PV. First off, we have the Kids Collection Bundle at 50 PV. Now, this is a game changer for a lot of people. I know of a lot of moms, new moms, they're always looking for a new diffuser. And so this one is a must have in a new kiddies room. And then we also have the South African Lifestyle Collection at 50 PV. This gives everything that you need as a South African kit, as well as the Via diffuser. So with the Via diffuser, it is 50 PV. I think on its own, it is just, well, the South African Lifestyle Collection on its own is just 40 PV. So it's worthwhile getting the Via diffuser as well. So that's just some ways that you can enroll people on 50 PV.
Thank you so much for that, Margot. Incentive for the month. I'm sure everybody wants to get their hands on that diffuser, because we actually want one on our side. But again, thank you so much. Definitely to you ladies, Hester, Jade, and definitely Kristina. Thank you for taking the time to actually join us for the call. I do commend you again. I thank everyone for actually attending. I do wish you a really well-rested night without any pests annoying you. And when I'm saying this, I mean mosquitoes. So have your citronella on hand, have your patchouli, your lavender, whichever helps repel those insects. Just have a great night from myself and Margot. Thank you again for joining us. And the quote that I will send you off with is that self-care is not self-indulgence, it is self-preservation. So a great note for you to take this home with. And thank you again for joining. Have a great night again, and good night, everyone.